Let's fall in love with fall. I'm going to show you how to take some Dollar Tree items, some found items, and we're going to make some really beautiful decor, and it is going to start right now. So we're going to make a pumpkin out of this wreath and this slat board. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain it with Dark and Decrepit by DIY Paint. It's like a stain, it's water-based, there's no odor, and it dries super fast. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful just like that. But I want to add a chippy look to this. So I'm using the color Crinoline, and I'm going to add some salt wash to this. Now, salt wash and baking soda, two different things altogether. Salt wash is going to give you a better texture, a thicker texture. You have more ability to play around with that. It really depends on your final outlook, what you're looking for. I'm taking my plastic scraper that I have from IOD, and I'm just scraping it on. I don't want full coverage, and this is what's really going to give us that real chippy look. All the products that I'm using here today you can find on my website, and there will be a link below this video. I'm going to create the stem, and I'm using parchment paper, but you can use anything, newspaper, wax paper, anything that you have around the house. And then I'm going to tape it around. Again, it doesn't matter what this looks like because we're going to cover it in a minute. Once you got the shape that you like, I am using drop cloth, and I'm just going to hot glue it on, wrap it around. Again, you could use anything. Burlap would look really nice with this as well, or any kind of ribbon that you have. So I'm going to seal this with liquid patina. You could use Big Top, liquid patina, or even wax. Once that's dry, I'm going to use wire. Now I'm using just this green wire. I'm not going to worry about it because you're not going to see it at the end. However, I would use fishing wire because then if you're just going with the wreath, you won't see it. I'm going to hot glue on our stem, and then I'm going to add some doilies to this. Now you're probably thinking, Denise, why didn't you add them first? Well, I wanted to cover up that green wire. The doilies is adding a really nice shabby look to this rustic. I love adding shabby and rustic together. I've got this lamb's ear pick, and I just cut it up, and I'm just going to use that, hot glue that in between the stem. Let's make a shabby chic bow. I'm going to use some drop cloth, some ribbon, some lace. Use whatever you have and just be creative with it. Crisscross it. You're going to tie it in the middle. I'm going to fold it over and give this a little bit of a haircut. We're going to hot glue it onto our pumpkin, and then I'm going to take a doily and trim off this little flower. It looks like a flower to me. Hot glue that in the middle, and then I have this rose, this satin rose that I got from the thrift store. And look at that, how beautiful is that? The cutting board is from my website, and these carrots, we're going to trim the tops off. We're going to flip it around and make candy corn. So to make the candy corn look, we've got some yellow, an orange, and a white, and we're going to paint that in, and this is going to be super cute. Can you imagine this was a carrot from the dollar store? Now candy corn. So we're going to set those aside to dry, and I'm taking my cutting board and I'm using the same colors, and I'm just blending it in. I'm adding the yellow, the white, and a little bit of the orange. The trick to this really is to keep it wet, and you can do this with the DIY paints because it blends so well. You're then going to take the Le Courrier stamp, and this is an IOD stamp that you can get on my website, and I'm using some brown ink and just lightly hitting it everywhere. I don't want a full coverage, and you'll see in a second, and just stamp that on. And see how we just added a little bit here and there, and we have some negative space. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the white and dry brush it on so it adds another layer, and it makes it look like it was been around for a long time. I'm going to take the same brown ink pad, and this is what I call edging it out. It just adds a nice border to it, and I'm even going to do the candy corn. I'm stamping the word fall. I'm using brown ink, and I'm using the stamp set called Letterpress, and it has 3 fonts in there. I love it because I get so much use out of it. Once that's all dry, I'm going to take my liquid patina and I'm going to seal everything. After I've sealed it, I added a piece of cinnamon stick. I love using cinnamon stick in the fall because it makes your project smell so good. Now, I tied on some raffia and then I decided not to do it. So after I applied the second cinnamon stick, I cut off the raffia and I used some satin material and made a pretty bow. Tell me below if you would have left the raffia on. I'm going to carefully take my lighter and singe the edges of the material. Take some more of that same material and just pucker it up, add in a little bit of glue here and there, and I think it adds a nice little extra bit of texture and style. I added a little bit of white swan, which is the white paint, to the cinnamon stick, and now we have this really pretty decor. These next pumpkins I actually filmed a few months ago, but I'm adding it to this video because these are from the Dollar Tree and they are so quick and easy to make. I have never found a pumpkin at a thrift store, so I went to the Dollar Tree and I picked up 3 of these pumpkins. They're $1.50 here in Canada, $1.50 each, still a really good deal. But I wanted to add some, my own style to them. I grabbed this mold, that's the fleur de lis with the air dry clay, and we're going to attach some leaves, we're going to attach some acorns, we're going to make this really, really cute. I'm using the construction adhesive because it is extremely strong and it sticks instantly. These will not slide off, so construction adhesive is my go-to when I'm working with clay. I wanted to add a little height to the stem and a little thickness, so I just took some air dry clay, I formed it on there, and then I put the glue inside, used my fingers, I used a little stick. Just keep your hands slightly moist, that will help when you are shaping the stem. All the products that I'm going to be using today will be listed in a single link below this video. Pumpkin number 2 in this trios is we're going to put fall on it. Now when you are working with a mold and its letters, it could slightly be difficult if you're not used to it. All you do is when you see here, I pull it over and then let the mold sort of fall out. Sometimes you even have to use your finger just to gently pull it. But honestly, just let it come out. You can always reshape it. It's a slight learning curve, but it is so worth it. Okay, it's no secret that I love pink. I do love other colors, but I do love pink. Now, I didn't want a pink stem, so I'm using Dark and Decrepit, which is like a stain. It's water-based. It's really good stuff. It's going to give me the look of the brown, but when I wipe it back, you're going to see the bit of the pink. You'll see. It's really good. I'm taking a baby wipe, and I'm going to wipe it all back now. It's like the glaze phase. Do you remember when we glazed everything? Well, this is like it, but even better. So it makes it look distressed, which you know I like. Now we're going to take these pumpkins, we're just going to keep adding to it. So stay tuned. These really turn out cute. But do you see there, as I remove it, it looks chippy and old. I just love it. Do you love this? Have you ever had a pink pumpkin before? Let me know in the comments below. All right, I know you want to get to seeing how this looks, so I'm not going to bore you with watching the third pumpkin. It's basically the same as the first two, just a little different. Anyways, I invite you to watch to the end because we play a little game with an emoji. Stay tuned. The last thing that I'm going to do with this is add a little bit of gold. Gold and pink go together so good. The emoji today is a fall leaf. Pop that in the comments below, and that lets me know that it was you that watched this video all the way to the end. And if you'd like to see more crafty DIYs, there's a video on the screen right now.